Hey folks, in this video, we'll reveal the top 7 darkest Marvel comics. Number 7, Spider-Man Reign. Spider-Man Reign is a dark and gritty Marvel story in a dystopian future version of New York City. In this alternate reality, superheroes have been outlawed and Peter Parker, the former Spider-Man, is now an older man living a miserable and defeated life. At the story's beginning, Peter has already given up on being a hero and helping others. He is a complete shut-in, weakened, and haunted by his many failures. New York City is now controlled by a corrupt mayor and his police enforcers known as the Reign. Crime has been wiped out, but at the expense of individual freedoms. One night, while walking home in the rain, Peter encounters a young boy on the run from the Reign. The boy begs for Peter's help as the police violently beat him. In a moment that seems like Peter might break out of his funk and save the boy, he takes a beating from the Reign instead. The real pain comes when the boy's sister confronts Peter and asks him how he could just let them take him. This encounter shakes Peter's core, but he struggles to find purpose. He returns to his rundown apartment, apologizing to his sickly wife, Mary Jane. However, she is not there, and Peter is left alone with his memories and guilt. Peter's life dramatically turns when his old boss, J. Jonah Jameson, visits him. Jameson, regretting his past actions, gives Peter a camera and Spider-Man mask to remind him of who he used to be. This triggers a transformation in Peter, and he becomes Spider-Man once again. The rest of the story follows Peter as he grapples with reclaiming his identity as Spider-Man while facing off against the corrupt mayor and his police force. The mayor intends to extend his authoritarian power by creating a laser-powered grid around Manhattan, closing it off from the outside world. Spider-Man symbolizes hope and inspiration for the people, fighting to free them from the oppressive regime. The story's main conflict is revealed to be orchestrated by Venom, the evil symbiote seeking revenge on Spider-Man. Venom controls New York City, spreading fear and using innocent people as food for his symbiote offspring. Spider-Man confronts Venom and leads him to the top of the Empire State Building, where a climactic battle occurs. Ultimately, Spider-Man sacrifices himself to destroy the laser grid and defeat Venom, inspiring the people to stand up against the authoritarian government. The story ends on a hopeful note, showing that despair can be overcome and acts of selflessness can inspire others to heroic action. Number 6, Age of Apocalypse. When it comes to dark and twisted Marvel stories, one cannot overlook the chilling tale of the Age of Apocalypse. This alternate future presents a world where the death of one man, Professor Xavier, sets off a chain of events that plunges reality into darkness and despair. From the ashes of the shattered Marvel Universe emerges a new age, the Age of Apocalypse. In this grim reality, the mutant tyrant known as Apocalypse reigns supreme. His obsession with the survival of the fittest has led him to create a world where only the strongest mutants survive. Apocalypse sits upon a throne elevated above a haunting pyre of burning skeletons, relishing in the scent of death and destruction. The atmosphere is suffocating as the echoes of Xavier's demise reverberate throughout the desolate landscape. Without Professor Xavier's guidance, the X-Men cease to exist. The absence of their heroic presence allows Apocalypse to tighten his grip on the world, spreading fear and destruction. Mutants are divided into factions, each vying for survival in this cruel new reality. The X-Men's absence is deeply felt, as hope becomes a distant memory, replaced by a relentless pursuit of power and dominance. The stakes are even higher when the ancient mutant known as Apocalypse reveals his ultimate plan. He seeks to unleash a devastating weapon that would wipe out all mutants deemed unworthy of his future vision. The fate of the mutant kind hangs in the balance as the resistance races against time to find a way to stop the apocalypse and prevent the destruction of their kind. In the face of overwhelming darkness, the characters in the Age of Apocalypse are pushed to their limits. They must confront their deepest fears, make unimaginable sacrifices, and question the very essence of their existence. The weight of their choices and the consequences of their actions hang heavy in the air as they navigate a world on the brink of destruction. Age of Apocalypse is a testament to the power of storytelling, showcasing Marvel's ability to explore the depths of darkness within their universe. It pushes the boundaries of what is possible, delving into the darkest corners of the human psyche and challenging our perceptions of heroism and sacrifice. Number 5, Change Reality. Marvel Comics has a rich history of exploring intricate storylines that push the boundaries of darkness and complexity. While the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, has brought numerous beloved characters to life on the big screen, some storylines remain too dark and complex for their lighthearted tone. One such storyline is Change Reality, a haunting narrative that delves into the darkest corners of the Marvel Universe. Change Reality revolves around the character of Wanda Maximoff, also known as the Scarlet Witch, whose reality-altering powers manifest uncontrollably. Driven by grief and loss, Wanda's immense power spirals out of control, warping the fabric of reality itself. The storyline explores the psychological toll on Wanda as she grapples with her inner demons and succumbs to the temptation of reshaping the world to fit her desires. As Wanda's powers spiral out of control, she reshapes the world according to her desires. However, this comes at a cost, as the boundaries between reality and illusion blur. Innocent lives are affected, and characters we know and love become twisted versions of themselves. The Avengers are torn apart as they try to confront Wanda, leading to internal conflicts and betrayals. The storyline also explores the moral implications of manipulating reality, raising questions about personal agency and the consequences of one's actions. Change Reality delves deep into Wanda's psyche, exploring the depths of her emotional trauma and her struggle to maintain her sanity. The storyline introduces a dark entity, a manifestation of Wanda's subconscious, which amplifies her pain and feeds her darkest desires. It forces readers to question the nature of reality and the thin line between heroism and villainy. Number 4. Kraven's Last Hunt. Kraven's Last Hunt is undoubtedly one of the darkest and most psychologically intense storylines in Marvel Comics. This 6-issue arc, originally published in 1987, delves into the depths of despair and explores the complex psyche of its characters. With its dark themes and moody atmosphere, Kraven's Last Hunt would be too dark for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The story begins with the villainous Kraven the Hunter, who decides to prove his superiority over Spider-Man by burying him alive. Kraven captures and drugs Spider-Man, burying him in a grave and assuming his identity. As Peter Parker fights for survival underground, Kraven parades as Spider-Man, taking on criminals and brutally beating them. This inversion of roles adds to the disturbing nature of the storyline. Throughout the arc, the narrative explores themes of mortality, identity, and the psychological toll of being a superhero. Peter Parker's time spent buried alive forces him to confront his mortality and deepest fears. As he struggles to escape his grave, his mental state deteriorates, and he experiences hallucinations and visions, blurring the line between reality and his inner demons. The themes and tone of Kraven's Last Hunt would make it a challenging fit for the lighthearted and family-friendly nature of the MCU. While the MCU has explored some darker themes in certain films, such as Thor Ragnarok and Avengers Infinity War, the psychological darkness and introspection found in Kraven's Last Hunt would significantly depart from the MCU's established tone. Number 3. X-Force. X-Force is undeniably one of the darkest and grittiest comics in the Marvel Universe. It explores the morally gray areas that superheroes often have to navigate, pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable in pursuing justice. With its mature themes and graphic violence, X-Force may be too dark for the MCU. Intense action, high body counts, and a disregard for traditional superhero ethics marked the early iterations of X-Force. The team's methods were brutal, often using lethal force to achieve their goals. This dark and edgy tone set X-Force apart from other superhero comics, appealing to readers who craved a more mature and gritty storytelling experience. One of the most memorable storylines in X-Force history is the X-Statix, run by Peter Milligan and Mike Allred. This series delves into the dark side of fame and celebrity culture, exploring the exploitation and manipulation of superheroes for entertainment purposes. The team, now renamed X-Statix, became media sensations, forced to participate in deadly reality TV shows and public spectacles. This commentary on our society's obsession with fame and the dehumanization of heroes made for a thought-provoking and disturbing read. X-Force stands as one of the darkest Marvel comics, pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable in the pursuit of justice. Its mature themes and graphic violence may be too dark for the MCU's family-friendly tone, but the success of other mature superhero movies suggests an audience for such stories. Number 2. The Immortal Hulk. The Immortal Hulk reinvents the character of Bruce Banner and delves into the psychological and supernatural aspects of his alter ego, the Hulk. Unlike the MCU's portrayal of the Hulk as a hero battling villains, this comic takes a much bleaker approach. One of the key elements that set the Immortal Hulk apart is its horror genre undertones. The comic explores the darker aspects of the Hulk's existence, focusing on themes of death, resurrection, and the supernatural. It delves into the concept of the Hulk as an immortal being, unable to die, and the consequences of this eternal existence. Moreover, the comic tackles heavy and thought-provoking themes such as guilt, redemption, and the nature of humanity. It forces readers to question the morality and consequences of the Hulk's actions, blurring the lines between hero and villain. The Immortal Hulk stands out as one of the darkest Marvel comics, exploring the psychological and supernatural aspects of the Hulk's existence. Its horror genre undertones, disturbing imagery, and thought-provoking themes make it a uniquely dark and unsettling story that may not be suitable for the MCU's more mainstream audience. Number 1. Below Hell Hulk. Below Hell Hulk is indeed the darkest Marvel comic. This story takes an already dark character, the Incredible Hulk, and delves deeper into his tortured psyche. The story begins with Bruce Banner, the alter ego of Hulk, being captured and imprisoned by a secret organization known as the Consortium. They have created a facility called Below Hell, a place specifically designed to contain and control the Hulk. In Below Hell, Banner is subjected to unimaginable torment and suffering. The facility is a nightmarish maze of dark corridors and twisted experiments where the Hulk is constantly provoked and provoked, triggering his rage and transforming him into a mindless monster. The scientists of the Consortium take sadistic pleasure in their cruel experiments, pushing the Hulk to his limits and beyond. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that Below Hell is not just a prison for the Hulk, but also a reflection of his inner demons. The facility manifests Banner's self-loathing and guilt, a place where he is forced to confront the darkest parts of himself. The more he fights against his captivity, the more the Hulk is consumed by his anger and pain. What makes Below Hell Hulk truly dark is the exploration of the psychological trauma that Bruce Banner has endured throughout his entire life. The story delves into his childhood abuse and the loss of his parents, which has left deep emotional scars on his psyche. As a manifestation of his repressed anger and trauma, the Hulk is a constant reminder of the pain he has endured. Furthermore, Below Hell Hulk also explores the cyclical nature of violence and the destructive power of anger. The more the Hulk fights against his captors, the more destruction he causes, leading to a never-ending cycle of violence and suffering. This theme reflects the tragic nature of the Hulk's existence as he is trapped in a never-ending struggle with his inner demons. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you found this content valuable, and we'll see you in the next one.